The Channel 5 News at 10.
Past and present.
Well, Ringo is in town today, and the reason that he was here to tell people about his new American children's show on public television. It's called Shining Time Station. I asked him why he decided to play the conductor in the show.
I'm doing it because I'm enjoying it. It's a great thrill to be 18 inches tall, 2 inches shorter than I really am. And I am Mr. Magic in this, and it's a nice piece for me to do, and it's with children, and I do like children. As I said before, I used to be one.
Is there life after being a Beatle?
Well, it is nice because you can do whatever you want, or whatever you're invited to join in, you know, and so that's it's a great position to be in. They're not all out there screaming and shouting anymore. You know, they're all our age now, and we have to hobble about.
Is anyone there?
Yes, someone is here. The phones at Shining Time Station don't go around answering themselves.
Are you going to bring your own children on, or?
My own children, well, one's 21, one's 23, and the other's 18, so they're a little old. I could bring my granddaughter.
You have a grandchild?
Yes, you see, where's your research? I have a granddaughter called Tasha, and she's 3, and she loves the show.
She call you Grandpa Ringo?
She calls me Granddad.
Well, that makes me feel
wonderful.
Then the producers had a luncheon. A luncheon with a theme designed to sell a children's TV show about choo-choo trains, but a luncheon that also included designer water and fine wine. The local press showed up, representatives of the Tribune's Ink column, the Lerner papers, and the Chicago Magazine, to eat their animal crackers and watch the show.
Thomas began going faster and faster. Whee! He whistled as he rushed through Henry's tunnel. Hurry, hurry, called Thomas. He was feeling very proud of himself, but the cars grew cross. And while the show was cute, I have to admit that before it ended, I began to think of nap time. There was something about talking trains and 18-inch tall conductors and ladies in the show saying the best thing to do when you were afraid is to talk to someone that was just too cute for noon at the Park Hyatt. You can judge for yourself on Monday, January 30th at 10:30 a.m. when Channel 11 premieres it.
You know, all these years since the Beatles, is it still kind of awesome to sit down and talk to a Beatle, or is it past that point?
No. Let me tell you, Ringo, it's awesome. You look at him and you say, it's like time goes as you're talking to him, and then you realize he hasn't changed that much. I mean, he's still doing the same shtick and humor and everything like that. Nice guy.
None of us has changed, right?
No, not at all. Not at all. No.
Thank you, Norman. Time now for a look at what's coming up tonight at 5. Here's Carol Marine in the newsroom. Carol.
Back in a minute, a former member of the Fabulous Four finds fame on public TV. Mark Schaefer explains Ringo Starr's starring role.
Explains he's about to give Mr. Rogers a run for his money.
So I had a lot of fun making this.
Ringo Starr in town at the Park Hyatt must mean something's happening. Well, it is, or it's about to. Ringo Starr is moving down the street from Sesame Street.
Can't do a job halfway. What's worth doing is worth doing well, I say.
Shining Time Station is a new show for children on PBS beginning the last week of January. Ringo plays the 18-inch high Mr. Conductor.
You've waited long enough. Come on.
Ringo Starr in a children's show on PBS? I mean, I'm no critic, but frankly, if you ask me, well, I would have showed up if he was in a Greek tragedy.
And so would most of the others at the press luncheon, just to get a glimpse of a former Beatle 20 years later. But a kids' show?
It's just something I've always enjoyed, and if we look back, I did do Yellow Submarine.
Of course, his past won't hurt the show. Beatles fans have kids nowadays.
These mini little people saying Thomas, Thomas, instead of, Ringo, Ringo. The parents all say, no, that's really Ringo, and I have to say, I'm Thomas's friend.
His fame won't help him with the viewers who know more about Sesame Street than Penny Lane. Jason Wolliner is one of Ringo's co-stars.
At the beginning, I was a little nervous, even though, I hardly knew who the Beatles were. But as we were filming, I got to know him a little better, and now I'm pretty used to him.
Is he okay?
He's a very nice man, yeah. He's very, very nice.
Get the feeling he wouldn't know Sergeant Pepper from General Electric? Shining Time Station begins January 30th on PBS. Mark Schaefer, Channel 2 News.
And we'll see you at 10. Good night.
Tuesday afternoon, Ringo Starr arrived from Chicago by train at Grand Central Station. Ringo is promoting a new children's TV series called Shining Time Station, and he plays a conductor on the show.
Why not? I like children. I used to be one.
The program, which is already a hit in England, will make its stateside debut this month on PBS. With the New York events, I'm Lauren Sidney, CNN.
Move over, Pee-wee Kermit and Bert and Ernie. Make room for Ringo. Ringo Starr is about to become a household name all over again in a new PBS series called Shining Time Station. It's a children's show, and we're happy to welcome both Ringo and co-star Brian O'Connor to our show this morning. Sometimes our show feels like a children's show as well. And good morning. Excuse me, Brian, but
yes?
Ringo Starr is here.
Oh, he was here, isn't he?
And do you know, my own children know who you are already, albeit they think that you might be an animated character. They're not certain. Are you aware that Yellow Submarine has become a cult thing with 4-year-olds?
No idea. It's fabulous.
I was wondering, in fact, because that is true, at least in some places, if that was why you got into this children's TV show business.
No, this is new to me. I mean, the children's show we've done, Shining Time Station, started in England when I just narrate these children's stories, and it became very popular. It's probably the biggest show there for children of that age group.
So whose idea was it? Who had the idea that Ringo Starr could communicate with kids at some level?
Well, 3 of my own. They got the message. Britt Allcroft, who produced the show, she came up to see me. Well, she wrote a letter first, then she came to see me. She had this idea for me to narrate these children's stories. And they're all about these fabulous little trains, you know. And I really backed off at the beginning, thinking, well, kids are into dinosaurs with guns on their backs, you know, and spaceships. Yeah. I used it. It's his line, actually. And so, you know, she kept at me, and then in the end I said, okay, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll just read flat 5 of the stories. And I sent the tape to her, and if you still need me, then we'll talk again. And she still needed me, and so we did them. And it was just amazing how big it got, you know.
All right, Brian, you can tell us about the trains. What is it about these trains at this Shining Time Station?
I don't know. I guess little kids just seem to like trains, you know. But there's more to the show than just the trains per se. It basically takes place inside a train station, you know. And all these magical things happen, including Ringo, who sort of lives in a wall and is 18 inches tall. And then there's we have other kind of visitors and these other machines that happen and stuff. So it's the trains are sort of what comes out of the station, but it's actually what happens in the station.
You've cut him down to size, is what you're saying.
18 inches, yeah.
I'm 18 inches tall.
But actually, my character actually never sees his either.
No?
No, every time I appear, he says in some kind of couplet, basically, here comes that jerk, I got to get out of here.
You do play a naughty man.
Yes, a naughty man.
A con artist with a heart of gold or something like that.
Yeah, I'm
a heart.
Yeah, if it was gold, I'd probably sell it.
All right, let's stop there and take a little look at a clip from Shining Time Station.
Have you noticed the new schedules that I had printed up?
You had those schedules printed up? Why, those schedules are all wrong, and if the schedules are wrong, the passengers will miss their trains.
I know. So what? Who cares? It's fantastic. They miss their train, so they have nothing to do. Therefore, consequently so, they go to my arcade and spend their money in my machines.
Oh, you really are a schemer, aren't you?
Well, that's what they call me, the schemer, and the pleasure is all mine.
Yes.
Can't do a job halfway. What's worth doing is worth doing well, I say. What's your name?
Matthew.
Or is it Matthew? And you may call me Mr. Conductor.
If it's on PBS, you've got to have noble intentions as the object to teach something. I mean, lessons must be learned at schemers' expense,
most of them,
right?
yes. Yeah. I think the noble intention is basically to do a show for kids, about kids and stuff, not like sort of like Pee-wee show stuff like that, sort of like a mirror version of it, comes back in on itself and more comments on what's going on, you know. I think that the show is sincere and that we're really trying to talk to kids, you know.
All right.
You know, we talk to them, not at them.
Yeah.
Hey, I'll be there.
Hey, good.
It's actually,
I don't know if the kids will, but...
it is for 4 to 7 or 3 to 7, but basically the show's all supposed to be a family show that families can watch the show with their kids.
Yeah.
Which I think is important.
All right, I appreciate that.
It's a nice half hour if you want a break and you sit down with the kids instead of just putting them in front of the telly and you go and do whatever you want to do.
No, we don't do that in my house.
Oh, not in your house. I mean, all the other houses.
Yeah, right. None of them do it either and admit it on television. Certainly not. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Well, thank you.
And we'll be back after this.